Thank you so much for your time. What has been the impact of COVID-19 to the coffee sector?
Well, the impact has been so huge. As I have just highlighted, coffee farmers have really been affected. Remember, we are talking about a farmer who could not even afford probably a meal previously. Now, with the requirements of COVID, starting with the masks, washing hands, even sanitizing, it has been quite a big, it is a tall order to most of the farmers. So even when the coffee production and harvesting is being done, remember, keeping and maintaining safe distance requires a lot of people to come and do the harvesting. Previously, you could share as the same bench, but today the requirement is you have to keep distance. So that is increasing the cost of production. Again, when it comes to the issue of husbandry, remember when we started, that was the time, the COVID started, it was during the time that we were required to put some fertilizers and some other, to do some of the spraying. This also affected the quality of the cherry, because we did not put the fertilizers when they were required, we did not spray when the time was required. Again, because even when the farmer would have been able to get this and get some resources from elsewhere to come and do the spraying, it was not practically possible because, again, there was the lockdown in terms of the borders. The borders were locked, and therefore it was not possible for the suppliers to be able to deliver to the nearest shops.
In terms of the cost, what would you estimate the loss from COVID-19 effects to?
The cost, remember, here we are looking at two different costs. The cost in terms of reduction in the production and the actual cost for you to be involved. It is a cost that I would estimate lands into billions. Because remember, we are not talking about a single farmer, we are talking about the industry, the coffee industry. And this involves not only the small holder, it also includes the large estate.
And as we finish this, where do we stand right now in terms of coffee production? What's the state currently?
The state currently, especially now again, if we bring in the issue of the climate. Last year, we are not expecting the current crop, which we are currently harvesting. We are not expecting a lot of production because there was a lot of interruption. Remember, coffee must have some time for sunshine so that then it is ready for what do you call it, the blossoming of the flowers during the rains. But that never happened. So what is happening on the status of coffee, the production is likely to dip. So much so, it might be almost to the level of half the production. Yes, across the border. Across the region that normally produce coffee. Yes.
When you say half, we are right now at about 40,000 tons annually, so yes. That's you're going to 20?
Yes, we might be talking about between 20 and 30, or slightly below 30. Yes.
You are concerned that government is not involving the farmer in some of the institutions that are being created to take care of the coffee farmers' needs. What has been the effect of this?
Well, the effect of this has been so huge because it delays the government implementation of the interventions. Because whenever you are supposed to come and put the intervention, and the person who is supposed to be the consumer of the intervention start rejecting it because they don't understand it, then there is that time that is wasted. Yes.
Which of the particular interventions would you pick out and say this one, if a farmer was involved, then things would be different?
Well, I would say it is almost all of them because you see the interventions have probably come up with, say for example, the latest is the new KPCU with the Cherry Advanced Revolving Fund. You see, the issues that we are putting up here, or the issues that we are raising already, are the issues that would have raised when we were there, inside there, and then we could be able to congregate farmers and tell them this is the best way to handle this, and then it is agreed. Remember, when a policy is put in place, amending it will also require some time, will also require some resources. So that is why we are saying, in terms of the interventions, if the farmer is involved, it becomes very easy. Look at other interventions like the e-voucher. When you talk about the e-voucher, we look at the cost and how much the farmer is going to be able to pay. But you see, we are still saying it would have been even easier for us to be able to procure in bulk, and then the government is able to put some money there to be able to cushion the farmer. But when the farmer is just told that you pay this and then the government chips in, it disregards the issue of the what do we call it, the bulk buying. Because when you buy in bulk, then you get the advantage of the cost. Yes.
Sir, you mentioned the 3 billion cherry fund that government rolled out. What does the farmer want in this particular one?
Well, what the farmer wants is, the major concern was not actually the advance. Because for you to advance the farmer, he has to bring in some production. So if a farmer has 100 shillings, how much are you going to advance to that person? No, has 100 kilos, how much are you going to advance to this farmer? It is a good government intervention, but in terms of placement, it was not the first priority. Yes.
Let's talk about the representation of farmers. Do you feel that farmers are overrepresented in some of the institutions that have been brought up? You are concerned that also the government is mostly concentrating on the market and leaving out the production part of it. What has been the impact of this?
Well, this is a very huge impact because remember, coffee is a very special crop. And what normally is traded is the attributes in the coffee. And these attributes come from the soil and the husbandry. So when we concentrate so much on the market, so what are we selling? So if you have the wrong product and you're putting it in the market, are you likely to get the best price? So what we are saying is, let us deal with the production. Let us also deal with the processing. And finally, let us deal with the market. And all these aspects can even run concurrently because there is nothing that will stop us dealing with the market while we are still dealing with the production.
Chairman, what's the way forward for coffee production in Kenya?
The status of coffee is a bit dim currently, but there is a lot of hope because the leadership has taken it upon themselves to be able to change the landscape of Kenyan coffee. Again, we have also seen some interest in other areas that requires want to take our coffee. Just the other day we had a market, the virtual market in Singapore, where our coffee was placed in Muranga. We had the 3 societies, and the coffees there was trading between $80 to $9.5. So again, that is something that is very positive. We may not have had the quantities to take there, but it is telling if you have this kind of quality, there is a market that can open up. So even if we are signing contracts with the marketers that can be able to venture into those other areas of market or the new upcoming markets.
Peter Gikonyo, the chairman, Kenya Coffee Producers Association, speaking to Metropole TV.